Hi, this is János, it's Real World Audio, and I'd like to talk about the accuracy of information that we get from advertisements and brochures and marketing spiel or talk. Or so, in my last episode, I hinted about it that when you read something in the ads that's not necessarily reflecting facts about sound quality, um, and it's not really factual, and there's sleights of hands going on, that the marketing team is just selecting, cherry picking a number of features and presenting them on a dish that seems very delectable for a potential customer. And I also mentioned the example of Danny Ritchie of GR Research, that he has his YouTube channel, and what he says there are actually, you can go by that. So how he's breaking down loudspeakers, what he's showing, telling about measurements, about features, about driver properties. That's that's all good stuff. I can vouch for everything that he says, basically. I'm not saying that I agree with 100% of everything, but what I agree with, everything that he does is solid. Everything that he says, you are getting accurate information. But the same goes as for every product, that the range of applicability is what we need to think about. Because when you have information that you are being provided about a certain product or a certain technology, the the facts about that product, about that technology, are limited to that technology. And the greatest number of confusion in the field of audio, how the end user gets confused about how audio works, is that when we are trying to uh, take a specific example and make a generalization from that. And that's not really our fault. That's the fault of the marketing people, because that's what the marketing aspect of audio is doing and has been doing for the past several decades. They just pick a feature and try to blow it up, try to generalize it and show it as if that is applicable for every situation. However, that's the uh, opposite of that. Is the truth is that that certain feature has its range of applicability, and uh, and if you really want to learn about audio, you really have to find out what is the applicability of a specific feature provided to you. And now, I mentioned Danny Ritchie, but I have to expand the number of manufacturers whom you can believe. And basically, what I recommend is to listen to talks, listen to videos made by the engineers themselves. There's a lot of talk on YouTube that you have access to, where the engineers are themselves talking. And I haven't heard a single bad talk done by an engineer who is designing loudspeakers, amplifiers, tone arms, cartridges. All of them are solid, pure gold. Really, just if you want to learn about audio, seek these out and start binge watching them instead of binge watching sound clips made with systems, which will not increase your field of knowledge, just will increase the longing in your heart for something that you don't have. But you can tune up the longing to want something you don't have at the moment. But if you lack the knowledge on how to get it, then it's not going to happen. Because we all jump to the bad conclusion that when you hear a good sound snippet, oh, that must sound so good because of the speaker there. But maybe not. It's the whole system you are hearing. It's the room, it's the microphone, it's YouTube presenting it to you in a specific way. So that's why it's just those sound snippets give us a point of view, but to translate it to your life, it's not happening. So for example, when I make videos, I took already like several sound samples, the sound that I record from my main system, the voice of Lancelot, the Altex. Some of them turn out really good, but some of them are whatever. But none of them are anywhere close to how the real thing sounds. And when I make sound snippets from the Cube audio drivers, that's when I listen back to them, that they're quite accurate and portraying how it sounds pretty well. And so that's why, and I'm using the same equipment to record them. And one of them is like very photogenic or microphonogenic, and the other is not. But so that's something that's also in the picture, and that's why you cannot will not develop. You will not have personal development if you are binging on sound samples. So that's why I recommend listening to the uh, designers talk about it. And just make a distinction whether it's the designer or a manufacturer. So if the manufacturer is a company owner, then and he does not know intimately the design process, so he was not the person who designed the product, then he will take it towards a little bit of a marketing aspect, because that's what he's more involved with, how to present the product to the public, and not just to the public but to the dealer who will sell his product in a way that it sells. But if when it's the designer itself talking to you, it's the most valuable lesson you ever get on audio. And so when I'm talking on my channel about how things work, I give you the presentation of how a manufacturer, how the engineer would talk about audio, about the workings of audio gear. And you might say, like, why should he believe a word that you are saying? You are not a manufacturer. True. I have not produced a single product to be marketed, but I have designed a tremendously, well, not tremendously, but quite a few number of audio gear from scratch, and for myself and some for my friends, and all of them are being used. And the good thing about it is that uh, by doing so, doing all the design work and all the building and tweaking myself, is I was in control of the whole entire process. Plus, I didn't need to spend time on marketing, on how, or talking to the dealers, going to shows, and accounting, running a company, paying the employees social security, and all kinds of deals and issues that if when you are you have a company, that's the 80% of your focus, and you have very little time to really focus on your product. And when you focus on your product, the majority of the focus is how to sell it, how to package it, and yeah. So whatever you see in my videos showing my stuff, none of them have any attention whatsoever on looks. So yes, if looks is a very important feature for you, then the manufacturers have a tremendous edge over me. And but for that, if you want uh, some audio gear for yourself that looks good, then start looking at woodworking channels to show you how to do fabulous woodworking. Start to look at metal working channels, how to make beautiful metal chassis, that kind of stuff. uh, so looks is something that I am not really talking about when I'm talking about stereo. I'm always referring 100% to sound quality, and uh, and it's up to you what kind of looks you want to have to go with it. But how something looks, whether it looks like $1 million or whether it looks like something homemade, that will not define the sound quality. It has absolute zero relevance to sound quality. And I have to say that if everything looks like wow, it just rolled out from the most expensive factory, and huge attention was paid to the design, it's almost a guarantee that there's a compromise in sound quality, because they had to compromise the sound quality to make it look fancy, to put all that money into looks instead of putting it into sound. So if you are looking at two loudspeakers at the same price range, and one looks pedestrian, other looks like it's dropped from another century, then and they are the same price, then the pedestrian looking one has the potential to sound far better than the futuristic one, because there the budget was focused on the looks and not on the sound. So I hope this helps everyone a little bit more how to orient yourself in the world of audio, of facts, measurements, marketing, how things work, what are the explanations. So it really depends on how you are getting your information, who you are listening to, and are they willing to share with you what their knowledge is or how they develop their product. So for example, I mentioned Danny Ritchie because he's willing, he's sharing, he's not holding back, he's sharing everything. I have seen like the interviews with Andrew Jones; those are fantastic as well, and there are many more. And there's like the black sheep of audio, Peter Quattrup of Audio Note. His videos with him, and he's talking about stereo gear, they are just fantastic. And he, I would say he's like an audio philosopher, and he is not just thinking about like the tiny miniatures, minuscule aspects of facts, but he's putting them in a big picture, how it refers to things. And when you listen to him, don't just think that this is just applicable to audio note alone and that he's promoting his products. He is going quite a bit beyond that. It applies to audio note, yes it does, but that's, it applies to more than that. He is creating a big picture, a vision for us. And I was really shocked when I saw those videos of him, because like his conclusions are those conclusions that I came to by myself through my experience. And then I hear someone else echoing those back. It's like, okay, now I know that you know, he is telling solid facts, solid things, and things that you find out after decades of research into audio. And when you are new, or when your company is a baby company, that's when you, even if you are a researcher or the designer, you don't want to share that, because you don't want to give away your edge before your company is solid. When your company is solid, you have a reputation, like Audio Note has a reputation, Danny Ritchie of GR Research has a solid reputation. So at this point, if they share their secrets with you, it will not affect them negatively. It will affect them positively, that when people hear them and try to apply what they're saying, oh, it really does work, so it will be favorable on them. But if you are a starting company, just freshly start up, and you give away your secrets, then you know all your competitors will take it from you, like Bauer Wilkins or anyone. I just made a, don't think that Bauer and Wilkins are cheaters or anything. I don't think so. They are a giant corporate. They have plenty of ideas already. They have a huge base of engineers and experience and history. I just throw it in as a name. uh, any company would take your ideas who is already established, and take, guess what, an already established company will sell 10 times more of a product that comes from an idea that a fresh tiny new company is coming up. So for the new companies, it's suicide to talk about that. For the well-established companies, there are some which are owned by shareholders, by conglomerate. They don't care about sharing those details. They don't want to. It's not a priority for the management. Uh, and only those guys who are still in control of their own company, like Peter Kottrup, Danny Ritchie, and Paul McGowan, they are the ones who can really speak their mind. So thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful day. Please like and subscribe. Bye bye.